Some bonds feel woven by fate, unbreakable threads of loyalty and love. Mark and his golden retriever mix, Buddy, shared such a bond. From the moment Mark brought Buddy home, they became inseparable, a man and his shadow. Buddy's amber eyes followed Mark everywhere, his devotion clear in every nuzzle and sigh. Their connection was a quiet language, spoken in shared routines and silent comfort. Buddy was Mark's greeter, foot warmer and confidant, making every day brighter. On tough days, Buddy would simply nudge Mark, offering comfort without words. Their friendship was a pact, unspoken but absolute. In Buddy's trusting eyes, their love was forever, and nothing could ever come between them. Before everything changed, Buddy was pure joy in motion. Mornings began with his tail thumping, eager for adventure. He raced through parks, chased sticks, and swam for hours in the lake, his happiness infectious. Every day was a celebration of simple pleasures, running, playing, and resting by Mark's side. After long days he'd dream of rabbits and water, his gentle breathing a comfort at night. Mark cherished these moments, grateful for Buddy's light. Buddy's world was big, bright, and full of trust. He believed every day would be as wonderful as the last. He was a dog in his prime, running with his whole heart. Neither of them saw the sharp turn ahead that would change everything. Life can change in an instant, a single moment that alters everything you know. It's a reminder of how fragile our existence can be, how quickly the familiar can become foreign. For Buddy, a spirited golden retriever, it happened on a crisp autumn afternoon. The air was filled with the scent of fallen leaves, and the sun cast a warm glow over the backyard. He was in his element, chasing a bright red ball, his favorite pastime, but in a heartbeat, joy turned to agony. He leaped with all his might, but landed awkwardly. A sharp yelp of pain shattered the peace, echoing through the quiet neighborhood. Mark, his devoted owner, was immediately at his side. Panic and fear gripped him as he rushed Buddy to the emergency vet. The drive was a blur, a desperate race against time, each second stretching into eternity. The diagnosis was a severe spinal injury, a freak accident with devastating consequences. The vet's words were heavy, each one a blow to Mark's heart. It was a cruel twist of fate, one that left them both reeling. Buddy's hind legs were paralyzed. The prognosis was grim. The vibrant dog who once bounded across fields now faced a future confined to a wheelchair. The dog who lived to run now faced a life of immobility. His world, once so vast and full of adventure, had shrunk to the size of a bed and a water bowl. Days blurred into confusion and pain. Buddy tried to stand, his spirit willing but his body unresponsive. Each attempt was met with failure, a heartbreaking reminder of his new limitations. His world shrank to a bed and a water bowl, joy replaced by struggle. The yard, once his playground, now lay empty, a silent testament to what was lost. Mark saw the heartbreak in Buddy's eyes, a silent question, "Why can't I run?" It was a question that haunted him, a reminder of the life that had been so cruelly altered. The accident drew a line. Before, he was boundless. After, he was trapped. The freedom he once knew was now a distant memory, replaced by a harsh new reality. The playgrounds of his life became obstacles, each one a reminder of the life he could no longer lead. The world outside was full of barriers, both physical and emotional. The light in Buddy's eyes dimmed, his spirit weighed down by loss. The once vibrant spark was now a flicker, struggling to stay alight in the face of adversity. The golden days were over, replaced by a new, harsh reality. The sunsets, once a time of joy and play, were now moments of reflection and longing. Nothing would ever be the same again. The bond between Mark and Buddy was unbreakable, but their journey had taken an unexpected turn. Together, they faced an uncertain future, one filled with challenges but also with hope. Mark's world turned upside down caring for Buddy. His apartment became an obstacle course, every day a test of strength and patience. Special slings, diapers, and vet bills piled up, straining Mark's finances and spirit. The spontaneity of their life vanished, replaced by routines and exhaustion. Mark loved Buddy, but the constant care wore him down. Guilt and frustration crept in. He missed the dog Buddy used to be, Friends didn't understand the depth of his struggle. Mark felt trapped, his social life gone, his joy fading. The thought of surrendering Buddy haunted him, a secret shame. He searched for options, each click a small heartbreak. Mark was torn between love and the crushing weight of reality. The day Mark took Buddy to the shelter, sorrow hung heavy in the air. The world seemed quieter, as if it too understood the weight of what was about to happen. Mark's footsteps were slow, each one echoing the ache in his chest. Buddy, his loyal companion, wagged his tail gently, unaware of the storm brewing in Mark's heart. He loaded Buddy into the car, every movement a reminder of what was lost. The familiar jingle of Buddy's collar, the soft whimper as he settled in the back seat. These small moments felt unbearably precious, slipping away with every passing second. Mark's hands lingered on Buddy's fur, wishing he could freeze time, hold on to this last journey together. The shelter loomed ahead, a place of endings. Its walls, once a symbol of hope for some, now felt cold and unwelcoming. The sky above was gray, mirroring the heaviness in Mark's soul as he approached the entrance, dreading the final goodbye. Inside, Mark filled out the owner surrender form, reducing years of love to a few cold lines. The questions on the form felt clinical, detached, asking for facts, not feelings. Each box he checked, each word he wrote seemed to erase a memory, a shared moment, a piece of their life together. Buddy lay at his feet, trusting, unaware of what was happening. He looked up at Mark with gentle eyes, seeking comfort, not knowing that this was their last hour together. The innocence in Buddy's gaze made Mark's heart ache even more. Mark's hand shook as he wrote, "Medical issues I can no longer manage." The words blurred through his tears, each letter a painful admission of defeat. He wished there was another way, but hope had run out. Each word felt like a betrayal. Guilt gnawed at him, knowing he was leaving Buddy in the hands of strangers. The memories of better days flashed before his eyes, walks in the park, quiet evenings at home, the comfort of Buddy's presence. The final act, signing his name, severing their bond. The pen hovered for a moment, as if refusing to finish what had begun. But with a trembling breath, Mark signed, sealing their fate. Mark whispered a broken apology, a tear falling onto the paper. The signature was final. It was done. The sound of the pen on paper echoed in his mind, a moment he would never forget. Buddy was now a number in the system, a dog without a home. The shelter worker gently attached a tag to Buddy's collar, and in that instant, the life they'd shared became a memory, filed away in the past. Mark walked away, leaving his heart behind. Each step felt heavier than the last, the emptiness beside him a constant reminder of the friend he'd lost. The world moved on, but for Mark, nothing would ever be the same. A shelter worker gently clipped a new leash to Buddy's collar, her hands careful but unfamiliar. Buddy's tail wagged uncertainly, not understanding why he was being led away from the only home and person he had ever known. The shelter was filled with strange echoes and unfamiliar faces, and Buddy's heart pounded with anxiety as he was guided down the corridor. Mark, his owner, walked away without a backward glance, his footsteps fading quickly. The heavy door swung shut behind him, the metallic click echoing through the empty hallway, a sound that seemed to mark the end of everything Buddy had ever loved. Buddy tried desperately to follow, dragging his useless hind legs across the cold floor. His eyes darted around searching for Mark, filled with confusion and fear. He didn't understand why he was being left behind or why his legs wouldn't carry him fast enough to catch up. He waited by the door, his gaze fixed on the entrance, every muscle tense with hope. Each time the door creaked, his ears perked up, expecting to see Mark return for him. The shelter was a world of overwhelming smells and sounds, other dogs barking, people talking, the scent of cleaning chemicals. Buddy's nose twitched as he tried to make sense of it all, but nothing was familiar or comforting. Volunteers gently lifted him into a kennel, arranging a soft bed and placing bowls of food and water nearby. They spoke to him in soothing voices, but their kindness couldn't fill the emptiness inside him. The kennel, though clean and safe, felt nothing like home. Buddy pressed his nose to the cold metal bars, eyes scanning every face that passed by, hoping, praying, that Mark would come back for him. As the hours dragged on, Buddy's confusion slowly gave way to a deep, aching sadness. The hope in his eyes faded, replaced by a quiet despair. He lifted his head and howled, a mournful cry that echoed through the shelter, a sound of pure heartbreak and abandonment, reaching out for someone who would never return. He ignored the food and water, lying by the gate with his head on his paws, too heartbroken to eat or drink. The world outside his kennel seemed distant and unreachable. Buddy's eyes were filled with confusion. He couldn't understand what he had done to deserve this, or why the person he loved most had left him behind. As night fell and the shelter grew quiet, Buddy curled up in the corner of his kennel, shivering in the cold. All he knew was that his world had vanished, leaving him utterly alone, longing for the warmth of a familiar touch that would never come. Buddy's story touched everyone at the shelter. Staff and volunteers saw not just a disabled dog, but a soul in mourning. Sarah, the shelter manager, spent hours with him, offering quiet comfort. Volunteers hand-fed him, cleaned him, and gently cared for his body and spirit. Emily, a young volunteer, discovered Buddy loved ear rubs, earning his first tail wag. She read to him, brought him a stuffed animal, and slowly coaxed him back to life. The kindness of strangers became Buddy's lifeline. He began to recognize their voices, their gentle hands. Slowly, trust and hope started to return. The shelter knew Buddy needed more than a kennel to heal. His story and photo were shared online, sparking an outpouring of support. Among the responses was a message from Jen and Tom, a couple with experience and love to give. They offered Buddy a home. Single-story, fenced yard, and open hearts. A video call showed their warmth. Buddy responded with a soft woof. They saw beyond his disability to the loving soul within. Plans were made for them to meet Buddy in person. For the first time in weeks, hope filled the shelter. Buddy's journey wasn't over, but a new chapter was about to begin. The staff imagined him basking in the sun, finally home. The first step toward a second chance was underway. Buddy's story is a testament to resilience and the power of compassion. His journey from beloved companion to abandoned soul is heartbreaking but not uncommon. The kindness of strangers became his salvation. Adopting a special needs pet is a challenge, but the rewards are immeasurable. These animals offer a love and gratitude that's pure and profound. To adopt them is to promise to see their worth beyond their limitations. Shelters are full of overlooked animals waiting for a chance. By opening our hearts, we affirm that every life matters. Buddy's story reminds us that love isn't about perfection, it's about healing and hope. In giving a broken heart a second chance, we find the greatest joy of all.